This is Opie Radio, Sirius 206, XM 103. The show is back.
Bill Burr has arrived early, so very cool. White Stripes and Apple Blossom. That's from the movie Hateful Eight. We were going to. You haven't seen Hateful Eight, I would imagine.
I'm here early. Was I supposed to be here at 7?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy you're here.
I'm exhausted, so I was like, oh man, I could have slept for another 20 minutes.
You haven't seen Hateful Eight yet, the Quentin Tarantino movie?
No, I have not.
It's a really, really good movie. Last Thursday, we all went. I
got to check it out.
It's
tomorrow.
3+ hours. Well, the movie itself is a little over 3 hours, and they give you an intermission. And it's 2 sets through the whole fucking movie. And it holds your attention. It's really, really good.
Who's everybody in it?
You got Bruce Dern.
Yeah.
You got
Kurt Russell.
You got Jennifer Jason Leigh. You got
Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson's in the movie.
Sam Jackson's
in the movie.
It's like Tarantino always works with the same people.
James Coburn is in the movie. Fucking Billy. I miss Bill Burr. It was really good, though, man.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah.
The N-word's thrown around a lot again, though.
Stop smiling every time you say that.
I don't smile. I'm not smiling.
I know Spike Lee, he's due for a rant. He always gets mad. I always want to be like Spike. Why don't you take a look at your depiction of Italian Americans in your movies before you bitch? Oh, hey, where's my fucking ziti over here? Fucking horrific. Fucking horrific. I'm not even Italian. I'm like, Jesus, Spike, was it that bad?
Then he goes after everybody else. That's a wonderful point.
Yes.
I like that point.
He does make that
John Leguizamo playing. He was playing Italian too.
Yeah.
In Summer of Sam.
Yes.
all those guys.
Right.
Maria! Oh!
Where's my pasta?
Yeah. They were doing everything but slurping spaghetti when they were delivering those awful fucking lines.
Goon arms and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Goon hand or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
It was Jersey Shore before Jersey Shore.
Exactly.
That's Brooklyn Italians.
Exactly. We were discussing Hateful Eight.
They cosigns, of course.
I liked it. It took me back.
The one thing about Hateful Eight, you know, they say the N-word a lot, and Jennifer Jason Leigh especially.
She enjoyed it?
She's either an amazing actress or she really likes saying that word.
I would go. She's an amazing actress, and like
I know. I would assume.
Both. Why can't it be both?
I would assume. And then Bruce Dern also is very convincing when he says the word.
Well, he's an older man too, so he remembers saying the word,
right?
And no repercussions.
I just find it amazing when you watch these movies because everyone.
Well, it took
everyone
place during a time when there was still slavery, so yeah people are not going to be exactly.
But man, they say that word a lot again in this movie. But it's great. We got pretty much the whole cast coming in this week. We got Jennifer Jason Leigh coming in this week. We got Kurt Russell coming in. We got Quentin Tarantino. Who else? Wow. Bruce Dern today. So, Travis, you loved the movie, right?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, any Tarantino movie I usually love, but this one is really up there.
Yeah, and Roland fell asleep behind me.
Of course he did.
Roland.
He fell asleep. We get this opportunity to see this movie before anyone else, and he got a nice snooze in.
On the first half of the movie? Before the intermission?
He says he saw half the movie, which means he missed an hour and a half.
Roland. As soon as the lights went down, he was out.
He probably was out within 10 minutes. Billy, you don't know this, but we go to these movies with Roland, and he sleeps through every single one, and he annoys a lot of people because he has one of those over-the-top fucking I'm a bear snores.
Oh, he does.
Oh, and people get pissed. They start kicking his chair, and no one can wake him up.
Is it his diet? Does he just like sugar salt himself with all the concessions and then he's out?
He might have. I don't know. What do you think the Roland thing is?
I think it's a respiratory issue.
He's got some apnea happening.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm asking why he falls asleep. If the movie stinks, you'll go to sleep. But if it's a great movie and you're still going to sleep, that's when you have to kind of cut back on the Kit Kats or something.
No, he sleeps through every movie. I've gone to, I don't know, at least a dozen. He has slept through every single movie.
He's a mess.
And he loves movies. One time he was sleeping in the aisle, like he had the aisle seat.
No.
And he was leaned all the way over like a tree halfway over. just snoring away. So
oh, what a fool. Well, he's up here early every morning, though, so.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. He's got something.
He's got a little sleep apnea, too. He might want to take care of, but we love Roland, but he doesn't make it through the movies. He said what he saw he really enjoyed. Right?
The opening credits.
Yeah, that was about it. Eric, you liked the movie?
I loved it. I did. The first half, it started to lose me just for a little bit because it was so long. And then there's the intermission, which was weird. I don't think I've ever been to a movie with an intermission.
Yeah, had an intermission.
The second half is ridiculous.
Yeah. I like the intermission, though. Get up, take a leak,
cool.
Stretch your legs a little bit.
You had something weird happen to you. The guy next to you.
Oh, it was just crazy, Eric. It was amazing.
What happened? It was awkward.
Roland takes care of everybody. He gets everyone some beverages, and he just hands them out. He gave me a nice big water, and I put it in my slot. I had one of those lounge chairs. It was one of these theaters with a lounge chair where you push that button, and your feet are up, and you're good.
That's the way to watch it.
No wonder he fell asleep.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And then 45 minutes into the movie, I'm getting a little thirsty, so I was going to reach for my water, excuse me. But the guy next to me decided that it was his water, and he started drinking my fucking water. Yes. And then he was mortified when he realized that his water was in his lap, and then he fucking drank mine. And then he over-apologized.
Yeah, that was the awkward part.
He kept apologizing. I'm like,
He's like, you should have said something. You should have told me to stop.
I go, it was
He blames the victim.
Yeah. And then I'm like, it's okay. You don't have to keep apologizing. Who gives a fuck? It's just water. I'll be a little thirsty now. It's fine. Whatever. How are you, Billy?
A little freaked out.
Why? Oh, today? Well, not today.
No, not that shit. I just doing spots this weekend. I saw a woman walk by me with like a half shirt on like December 12th.
Oh, okay.
And everybody's just going like, oh, this weather is awesome.
It's disturbing to me. I don't trust any of it.
You know, they having a summit. They had the fucking, in Paris, they had like the global summit on the warming.
Yeah.
And like the right wing finally admitted that we are affecting climate change.
Yes.
And they just go, yeah, but it's too late now. So
So why don't we just enjoy ourselves?
No, it was like when Pete Rose finally admitted to gambling after all those years. I didn't. I never gambled on baseball. They finally goes, all right, I gambled. Now let me in the Hall of Fame. It's like
game's over.
It's like, wait a minute, what? You just lied for 20 fucking years.
He had to, though.
It's time to let Pete Rose in, though, man. Come on.
I'll tell you, we had Pete Rose in here once. He is amazing.
Oh, he's totally amazing. I met him
you met him?
Yeah, Vegas. He sits there and he signs stuff.
Yeah.
I met him. At first, he was like, who are these weirdos? But once we started talking baseball, he'll do it.
Yeah.
He'll do it all day long.
He was so
How do you look in person?
He looks good. He looks.
I mean,
he looks all right.
Like swollen?
No.
I mean, he probably looks how I'm going to look when I'm 80.
Well, how old is Pete?
No,
He's
but
in his
you know,
60s
athletes
by now, right?
age a little differently sometimes.
60s, dude. When he retired, he was well into his 40s. That was in the mid 80s.
Yeah, he was a player.
He's in his
manager.
70s.
All right, then he looks great. He's 74.
Yeah.
I would have sworn he was in his late 60s. He looked great. And he's just so much fucking fun. He's one of those guys that has to punch you a lot.
Yeah.
No,
he can't shut it off.
He tells a joke or something, then he has to give you a punch. He was punching Jimmy the whole appearance. Just those little, I'm a alpha male and I'm punching you because I just had a good joke.
Yes. Did his wife, was his wife here too when he came? Did he come with his wife?
The Asian, right?
Little Asian tasty.
I don't remember if she was here. I saw a little bit of that reality show. She's all right, but yeah, a little freaked out by the warm weather.
Yeah, but I'm able to calm myself down. I'm just like, we're doomed to destroy ourselves. And
it's over.
How many generations we got left?
But that's the way. That's how
we got about half left, right? Hopefully, well,
that's how we got into this mess. Just by selfishly going, yeah, well, Godzilla's not coming during my lifetime, so we'll just we'll leave it at that. So. I don't know.
What about the new generation coming up? Will they get a full generation in before
I have
this
no
whole
idea.
thing explodes?
I have no idea. I can't even watch any of it. Do you know? I think that's why they stopped showing animals on the Discovery Channel. Now they're just hot rods and pawn shops. Right. Because I love animals, but you're watching them and like it used to be like the final 2 minutes back in the day on Jacques Cousteau when he showed the bulldozers and people throwing McDonald's bags into the ocean. Then it became like the last half of it. I couldn't watch it anymore.
And now they start with the polar bear on the ice sheet. That's how they start.
They're drowning.
They're drowning because
they go to swim from one ice sheet to another, and they don't got enough. They don't have the cardio.
Yeah. They don't have the arm strength. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They used to be able to hop and skip between these ice sheets or whatever they're called.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, now all it is just people rebuilding cars and
Yeah, like
pawn shops and shit.
We can't really show you the animals anymore. It's too depressing.
We got man-made salmon now. They
nice.
They farm
they
it.
they greenlit that.
All right.
So I figured maybe we can make a bag of bees every couple of days and throw them out the window. Just keep making animals.
Bag of bees.
Whatever we need.
Everyone's having fun with the warm weather, though.
This is the golden age.
This is the golden
age of global warming before some polar bear will swim up to your fucking fifth-floor apartment. Yank you right off your futon.
I like how you break it down, though. Just people are all happy that it's so warm in December. I think we should be a little worried.
It's disturbing.
A little worried.
Oh, you don't look around the corner. They're
everyone's
living in the moment.
Oh my God, look at me! With a bikini on in December.
One reporter was in a Columbus Circle interviewing two little girls in front of a little Christmas little thing they got going over there. She's like, ain't the weather great? And the little girl was like this. It's all right.
What do you mean
She's
it's
like,
all right?
She's like, I want snow. I'm a little kid. It's Christmas,
Of
you dumb
course.
bitch.
No, we accepted that a while ago. When I was growing up in this area, we had snow around Christmas every year, and we don't get that anymore.
Even Thanksgiving, we had snow.
Yeah, sometimes.
First snow was usually November or so.
Yeah, late November, early December.
It was 72 degrees in November.
Yeah,
Crazy.
not every year that happened before the people actually only 14% of the fucking time. You know what we're saying.
You just know something's different.
Yeah, I definitely did not see, dude, she was gorgeous. It was like August, what she was wearing.
I don't think humans were ever supposed to notice that the weather patterns were different. They would slowly change over generations, but not in your own lifetime.
Yeah.
I might as well remember sledding in December, and now you're running around in shorts in the park. That can't be good.
I might as well move back from L.A.
Yeah.
Might as well. I mean, you guys are basically, you guys are getting the weather that I used to have.
Yeah.
Used to be able to brag about.
Yes.
And I'm out there like it's all drying up.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be reverse grapes of wrath pretty soon.
The only selling point LA had is now the same temperatures here.
It's true. Very true.
No, it's hotter.
The average
even hotter.
temperature for this date is 38 degrees, and today it's going to be 64.
All right. So it's a little warmer. 26,
double.
26 degrees warmer. 60 all week, pretty much.
Throughout history, the Earth has warmed and cooled on different times.
Exactly.
And then somebody else goes,
But never at this rapid of a rate.
They can't, but they're sort of agreeing, finally. Both sides a little bit more.
But what they're going to do
but
about
the
it?
only thing they agreed is they just said there's nothing we can do about it, so let's continue.
Doing what we're doing.
So let's continue making money.
The wall is too wide. There's no point in turning the steering wheel. Step on the gas.
How long can we live with just water everywhere, you think?
You mean
Before
like
then-
Waterworld type of Kevin Costner?
Kevin Costner did all right. You got to tie a lot of things together,
He
I
had
think.
gills, though. We don't have gills.
They're showing the Statue of Liberty on TV. I'll get nervous when the water's up to the ankles, and then I'll start. That seems to be doing okay still. No?
No.
No?
No.
When does the water come?
It's coming soon.
First the weather, stays warm, and then the water comes next.
We'll all be living in Mexico, like that movie 2012 or whatever it was.
Right.
We gotta move down.
2012.
Whatever.
Mexico.
No, that what's the movie with the climate change?
Day after tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't
There
see
you
that
go.
one. All right.
No, day after tomorrow. Wasn't that the nuclear one?
That was the day after.
The day after. Oh, okay.
Day after tomorrow's with Jake Gyllenhaal running around. And
Yeah.
everything's global warming. And,
There we go. We all have to move down to Mexico.
Yeah.
Good old
People's
Mexico.
going the other way across the border. Then what?
Then what is right? All right. Well, you didn't need your winter coat this trip to New York.
No. Donald Trump's going to have to do a lot of apologizing if that's where he's going to end up. He goes to McDonald's, Mexico.
Yeah. Trump is leading the polls, but Cruz is gaining. But they said today that Clinton ties the GOP, but crushes Trump in a general election.
We'll
crushes
We'll
Trump.
see.
But I just love that Trump continues to just bully the media. He's just fucking goes.
It was
after
funny
everybody.
it was funny in the beginning. Now it isn't. It's just like that's all you got to do when all this stuff comes to the surface. It's just
just call someone
He's loving it, though. He's loving it.
Just call someone a loser.
He's a bigger name now than he was before he started campaigning.
You think?
And he was already, he had his fucking name on 1,200 buildings in New York City.
It's every day there's just a million fucking Trump clips. Trump on Hillary Clinton. She's killed hundreds of thousands of people with her stupidity. It's today's clip.
Yeah, and he never says anything.
No, he just goes
like if
out.
you ask him to back that statement up, and I can't stand Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I can't stand her.
Why you hate her, Billy?
Just because she, like, I remember when she became a senator. First of all, she went from being the president's wife to then just being a senator.
In a state where she didn't live.
That would be like if Tom Brady's wife became the quarterback of, like, the Bills. It's like because she was fucking a guy that knows how to do the job. Now she's qualified. And then she showed up with a brand new Yankee hat. And she just goes, I've always been a Yankee fan. It's like, dude, they won 4 titles when your husband was in office. You weren't at one of those celebrations.
Right, now you're wearing that.
Yeah, and I got a brand new, and New York ate it up. She likes her team. Horrific.
She's eating a dirty water Frank and wearing a Yankee hat.
And then she goes, I might not be the youngest candidate, but I'm the youngest woman candidate. Who gives a fuck? All right, you got a vagina. You got a plan? None of I always vote. I don't vote Democrat or Republican. It's always outside of that, and they're always the ones go, hey, these corporations out of control. You need to regulate them. We got to, get control of the money supply. And people, he's crazy.
Right.
He's out of his mind. Then those other cunts all say the same thing.
Of course.
Lower taxes, get people back to work, the education
Blah, blah,
system.
blah. That's the same garbage you hear every single election.
They're not going to say
Do
that.
you think Hillary's going to win, though, Billy?
It's a cakewalk for her right now.
I think so.
It's a cakewalk.
Well, you never know.
Trump's fucking up everything.
You never know. People get scared.
What's the you never know?
Things happen in politics, man.
Dude, can we just get out of the Bush-Clinton fucking vortex?
I don't think we
My
can.
God.
That's what Jimmy says. It's
Chelsea's
like,
going to run in 2020. Nigga.
How about some new choices?
I am
here?
psyched, though. Jeb is not even registered.
He's so bad.
Oh, just when you thought George was the dumbest one, huh?
Well, it's more his personality. I don't even know if he's dumb. He seems pretty smart, but he just has a horrendous personality.
As
you need
opposed
a little
to those other hip Bushes.
I know, but I think
With
he's
their combs in their back pockets.
Fair enough, Bill Burr. I think he's way worse though, even than.
It's his name, dude.
He appeals to old people. I thought he was a genius when he was down there in Florida, but it was like there's a whole bunch of old people voting for him.
Yeah.
And he makes them feel comfortable.
He just looks incredibly uncomfortable. You put a camera on him, and he panics. Or
Even
something.
when he speaks Spanish, trying to speak Spanish, it's like, nigga, your wife is Mexican.
Right.
You should be better at this.
You think he's not that great?
No, he's a phony.
He's like me in high school, just trying to fucking pass. God, I was horrendous in Spanish. Horrible. You want to play the clip? Sure. Let's just play one Trump clip, and then I want to get into some other things with Mr. Burr, who's got a big week, a very big week.
Billy.
This is Trump on Hillary Clinton.
Hispanics. I employ thousands of Hispanics. They love me. I love them. They do great.
Already off and running.
Hilarious already.
A little advice to Trump. Give up on them. You lost the Mexicans. They're not coming back.
He's got some of them.
I just
They're not
pictured all
coming
of
back
them.
as a group, though. You need all of them, not just a few.
All right, yeah.
You lost that group.
I just love it. They love me.
Right.
I love
They
them.
love me. Yeah, it's just he just says shit.
It's a love fest.
You love it, though, right, Bill?
No, I don't. At first he was funny.
Yeah.
And then he was supposed to go away. But then dude, the dirty rug that he's beating and what is coming out of that is just terrifying. You didn't think
That's America, though, Billy.
You didn't think that there was going to be like that much. It's unreal.
God.
It's unreal. Like the level. That guy yelling, "Get out of my country!" A guy in his 50s said that to a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
He just like, these are the dumbest fucking people
on the planet.
Yeah, they're like cartoonish dumb. Get out of my country. Those are the same people. You know what I can't stand about the right is they always do that. This country was founded on, and they go into that whole like George Washington. I couldn't tell a lie.
Yeah.
They completely ignore genocide, slavery, indentured servitude, sweatshop labor, robber barons. They ignore all of that, and they just sit there and they read like they literally should be like Tinkerbell on their shoulder. And it's I just spilled all the water on my head. Even them, it's like It's like, I just cringe when I'm looking away. It's just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
They talk about like it was some wonderful fairy tale when this all began, right?
Yeah, nothing was easy. It was all
just wonderful.
And you know what's funny? It was really only wonderful for about like 10% of white people. It was tremendous.
Yeah.
But there is that stereotype that all white people are like, yeah, this is great. Woo!
Yes.
Everybody was suffering.
I think so. Back to Trump. The Mexicans love him.
They love me, I love them, and I think I'm going to do great with women. And one of the reasons I'm going to do great with women is that I'm a leader. I'm not like Hillary Clinton. She's got no strength. She's got no stamina. Everything she does is like theatrical. Oh, Donald Trump said this. He actually, it's sort of interesting. She said, I watched her last night, Donald Trump, it looks like she practices in front of a mirror for 2 hours. Donald Trump said, I think he's dangerous. I'm dangerous. She's the one that caused all this problem. With her stupid policies, you look at what she did with Libya, what she did with Syria.
He's not saying anything.
Right.
Nothing but substance.
And he calls her theatrical as he goes into like this big impression.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is ridiculous. She's stupid. She's crazy. She makes rash decisions.
Right. But
like what?
There's no meat. There's no meat.
That's
and
like when he would go like.
There's never been meat with his stuff. I mean, he's tried a little more lately, but
there's nothing. There's nothing there. He goes like, "What would you do about legal immigration?"
Yeah.
He goes, "I build a wall between here and Mexico, and I'd make Mexico pay for it." And all you got to do is be like, "How are you going to do that, Donald?" Get out of here!
Are you trying to say the press they just
security puts you in a chokehold and takes you out for asking a follow-up question?
That's all you have to do to
hole in the ozone layer. Yeah, you stick a jacket in it. Get a ladder. You just climb up there.
So you just have to give him a follow-up question and he'll fold.
You do. All of my. He's just like me. All of my arguments, 1 or 2 follow-up questions, they fall to the ground.
I think you just described. You just described everybody. When you try to, you start showing a little intelligence, and you just hope that no one asks too many questions.
That could be the CEO in him, though. He could just be the CEO who says shit and get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, but who? He should probably start talking about the people he's
going to bring along on his cabinet.
Yeah, some of the guys that
the people love me. I love them.
Right. The Mexicans, they love me.
Mexicans love me. They've forgiven me. I've forgiven them for being Mexican.
Continue with it.
It's actually like remember that sketch a long time ago SNL had where that guy came to this country. And they kept asking him, so you came to this country and you didn't know the language. And he just goes, that's true, you're absolutely right. And they just keep asking him questions and he keeps going, that's true, you're absolutely right. He wrote a book called That's True, You're Absolutely Right. And in the end they realize that's all he can say. He's like literally doing that. It's almost like it's a dare. Like how long can I just not really answer a question?
There are times I feel like might be just punking everybody.
He's not.
Like this is some big fucking...
No, he's a narcissist.
Fucking, yeah, that's true.
He's deep in it, man.
How would you handle the Middle East? I'd bomb the hell out of them.
Right. I'd make it into a parking lot.
Yeah, there you go.
But Ted Cruz said something. He said he wanted to see if the sand could glow.
He did say that.
So,
well, Cruz is finally taking a page out of Trump's book,
and that's when he shut up in the polls. That's when he shut up in the polls last week.
But he could back it up because he's been around a little longer, so he could talk a little more policy.
So we're going to carpet bomb them, and we're going to see if that sand can glow.
That's
a nuclear threat.
Didn't we do that already? We've already been doing that.
We've done
the only
that.
way,
which by the way,
successfully. When you occupy a country, the only way to do it is if you're not leaving and you commit genocide. That's the only way it works. You can't just go there and half-ass it. Like you got to take the 5th commandment and about 7 other commandments and throw them out the window.
Yeah,
you got to get. That's how evil you have to get, dude. If somebody came and occupied this, all right. Once they took it over, you're just sitting there, all right. They got the guns, you don't. But any chance you get, you're going to sit there and pick them off.
Right. Of course.
It's got to be a brutal occupation. That's what you're saying, Billy?
Yeah, that's what these guys are saying. They're acting like they're over there. They got it. They figured it out with Vietnam that when you lose public support, the whole thing is over.
Right.
So they got everybody terrified that you can't speak up to be like, "What are we doing over here?" Because if you say that, then you don't support the troops and the
you look
kids.
like an asshole. And
yeah, and they totally they bullied it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant what they've done over there.
It's pretty smart.
Pretty smart.
I say.
Not like everybody says.
Let's play the rest of this.
What happened with Egypt? A total mess. We don't back any of our allies. You look, she was true, if not the, one of the worst Secretary of States in the history of the country. She talks about me being dangerous. She's killed hundreds of thousands of people with her stupidity.
What do you mean she's killed hundreds of thousands?
She was Secretary of State. Obama was president. The team,
right.
Two real geniuses.
Killed
two real geniuses. Of course. Look at what happened. The Middle East is a total disaster under her. She'd travel back and forth.
Dude, did you just see how he didn't even answer it? He just said she killed, and he goes, "What do you mean by that?" And he goes, "She wouldn't bomb the team." This is so stupid. I didn't want to give the guy any more attention.
He deflects.
He's your president, Billy. Show respect.
He's not. I don't think so.
That's your future president right there in front of you. You proud of yourself?
What do you mean? Will you stop with your arrogance? Proud of yourself? I'm the black guy. I know who's the right guy to pick. Who should we pick there?
Did I say that because I'm the black guy?
Yes, you've been doing this for 20 fucking years with your Trump horse shit.
I've been in comedy for 14 years.
There's your president, Bill. Are you happy? Was that your social commentary?
Did you vote? Did you vote last election?
Stop trying to change the subject. Of course I did.
You a question.
Of course I did.
You might be the only one in here other than me who voted.
I'm not talking about who voted. I'm talking about that stupid, smug statement you just made to me.
Yeah, I'm talking about that too.
There's your president, Bill. Are you happy? What does that mean?
Because
what does that even
Billy,
mean?
You're sitting back doing nothing about it. You're doing nothing. And so just sit there.
That's it? That's all you got?
That's what I said.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That was great. That was phenomenal.
Do you think he's voting for Trump?
I don't know. But you're not going to vote for Hillary. So who are you going to vote for if Trump gets the nomination?
Well, you obviously know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my president. Why is that my president?
Because you're going to vote for him.
What does that mean?
You'll vote for him over Hillary Clinton.
What does that mean?
That means that you'll vote for him over Hillary Clinton.
Based on what? Why would you think that? I just told you earlier I usually vote for a libertarian.
But
You're
you
not
just
even
said
listening.
you hate her. Well, you vote for somebody who you hate.
And what was I saying about Donald Trump?
That he's dumb. He's an asshole.
Right. So why would you say that that's your president? There you go, Bill.
That's our two choices. So what are you going to do? Which direction are you going to go?
It's not two choices.
Where's the other choice?
We got libertarians. It's like 20 Republicans.
I'm talking about
running,
with a real
20 Democrats.
chance of getting into the White House.
I don't think Burr votes for Trump ever. To be honest with you,
there's your
who
president.
Who would you vote for out of these two?
If I had to,
you're going to have to.
Between Trump and Clinton?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
It's not just going to be the
It's going to be one or two. It's going to be one of them.
There'll be the third one.
I'm going to call up Bill Burr, and I'm going to find out who the third guy is, because I don't know who it is.
I always vote for the third guy, and then everybody always tells me you're wasting your vote.
Right.
That's a waste of a vote.
I don't know who the third guy is, but I will text Bill Burr, and we're going to find out who the third guy is.
I think if you're not a Republican or a Democrat, you ain't got a chance in hell of getting in the White House, period.
I couldn't imagine voting for either one of those two.
I always vote outside Democrat.
That's all we got.
Republican.
I would go with the old no vote again.
No, you just vote for there's always the one guy that's making
guy,
sense. I don't pay attention this
I'm
fucking
desperately
early.
looking for a third guy, and I don't see him.
Well, it's not a third guy that has a chance, but it just
I think Bernie Sanders makes more sense than either of those two.
I like
I'm just worried that he's like 90 years old, and his face gets all red when he starts screaming. I'm like, this guy's got hypertension or something.
I kind of like Bernie Sanders more and more. I really do.
Do you think the running mate might help you pick
between Trump and Clinton?
Yeah, like deciding on who they pick as a running mate.
I mean, for the radio, you're pushing me here, but I can't imagine voting for Trump or Clinton for reals. And then what? The running mates? What is that going to do? Because I don't really like any of these guys usually.
I mean, sometimes they make you feel more confident in.
Like who's Hillary going to pick?
I have no idea.
O'Malley, Martin O'Malley, right? Who else do they have for a running mate over there?
What happened to our options?
Well, that's what we should be worried about. The options aren't that great.
Wow.
No, they never were, dude. The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. That's all he makes.
If you up the money,
and then all of them are even like most of the senators. They end their career. Senators make like $180, $200,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
They're all multi-fucking millionaires at the end. It's like, how do you do that legally?
Yeah.
And the presidents at the end, after they're done being president, they go around and they give speeches for $1 million a night. Nobody's worth $1 million a night. I don't even think Elvis made that, right?
No. Eddie Murphy and Raw didn't make that.
$1 million a night.
Yeah.
And then they give it to the speeches to these corporations. That's just them washing their bribe money. Like, all right, you push that thing through.
So we're going to take
come here and give you 1,000 points of light speech. We'll give you a big bag of money. You beat it.
Beat it.
We'll keep 80% of this and throw 20 at the next guy.
So you're saying there's some kind of understanding You know what I mean? Like,
dude, it's so
you're
to
doing
me,
all this stuff for us.
That's what I mean.
And we're gonna get you on the other side after you're out of office when no one's kind of taking.
I feel like it's so obvious. It's almost like they want to get caught. Like when a serial killer starts leaving clues because he's like, dude, somebody's gonna stop me, man. I can't even look at myself when I'm brushing my teeth anymore.
Right, I've had it.
The bodies are just. I'm running out of space here. For the love of God, do I have to have?
I got 200. They haven't even found
yeah,
yet.
do I need to wear an "I'm a serial killer" T-shirt? What do I have to do to get arrested?
I'm gonna start putting up billboards. I'm done with this.
That's how New York State, that's what Askelos and his son just got found guilty. His son's on the phone talking about the phone tap. It's like, this dude was brazen.
I will tell you this much. I don't want Trump or Clinton.
Neither do I.
But then again, I don't give a fuck in the end who the president is because I just don't. Because I think it's all bullshit. I think it's just complete bullshit.
No, but there's always somebody who actually says that. Yeah, and if you vote for him, I hold on to. Hopefully, you encourage other people, and gradually you can tip. This is a weird thing when people vote, they want to win. You know what I mean? They want to be like, I voted for the guy that won.
Yeah.
Like, so they feel like you're throwing your vote away. So it's like you're going to vote for that lunatic and you're going to vote for the plumber's wife. You know?
Well, I love when they say you don't have a say in anything because you don't vote. Aren't you making a statement by not voting? Wasn't that kind of the George Carlin way?
No, there's always somebody.
Do you feel like a winner when you don't vote and shit?
I don't give a fuck. I'm not sitting there like, I'm not thinking about it.
Usually we have a third choice by now. Usually somebody else will be in a race is like, okay, it's like three choices, three hard choices.
Trump should be that third choice.
He's threatening.
Trump, if he's not the...
Trump's the second choice.
But but the GOP's not too happy with him, and he's like, look, if they don't treat me fairly, or what was his exact quote? If you don't treat me fairly, I'll go do a third-party run.
Right.
And that fucks it up for the Republicans big time. Then it's a guaranteed.
So what's the problem?
It's a guarantee that a Democrat wins the White House.
Is it the candidate or is it the party?
Donald Trump is Fredo with Sonny's personality.
He's fucking up everything. I find that kind of fun.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Not
joking,
in a real way.
All right, let's just get to the end of this clip and then we'll move on to other things.
But look at all the problems. Look at, as an example, Iraq. Total disaster. They didn't get us in, but they got us out badly. Okay?
All right, how would you do this?
You're not going to answer that.
Following Bill Burr's lead here, how would you do it then?
He's not going to answer that.
Of course.
We spent $2 trillion, thousands of lives, wounded warriors all over. Look at Libya. Look at Benghazi.
Done with Iraq.
He knows how to build that panic.
Look at those Crocs. They were all made out of plastic. Now where are they? American businesses are going under.
You think there's just a huge pile of Crocs somewhere out there floating in the ocean?
Oh, yeah, they're floating in the big swirl out in the Pacific Ocean.
Hey, I'm going to do we need to finish this or are we good? All right, we're good. Fuck it. When you're flying helicopters, have you seen the pollution out there?
I don't see pollution. It just
because you're not far enough out.
Yeah, that's way out.
Way out.
But it's supposed to be like 2 miles deep and like 1.5 times the size of Texas.
Texas, I've heard all that. You think that's true?
It's just ducks and shit stuck in it.
And why is there any real video of it? I mean, you can
there is. But if you want to look at it and you want to feel unbelievably depressed, go ahead and look at it.
Discovery Channel did a whole show on it.
Where they show that's as big as Texas?
They got under it. They showed it underwater. They showed the whole thing. It's huge.
Yeah, just watch. You'll see your old rollerblades, a hoodie, that game of Monopoly you threw out. They just
Lakers jersey.
That's what blows my mind is everything that you ever owned exists. It's still on the planet. They didn't shoot it into outer space. It's somewhere. It's in a landfill. It's clinging to a porpoise.
I want my old racetrack.
How great would it be to go back to your old stuff from when you were like 12, 13?
That'd be awesome.
Your first baseball mitt.
My Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox.
Where's my first baseball mitt?
Well, even
for real.
That might be biodegradable because that's like animal skin or whatever. But I mean, all your Hot Wheels tracks and all those that plastic shit.
Yeah, that metal lunchbox is still here.
Well, let's go with Hot Wheels tracks from when I was 12. Where do you think that is right now?
Pacific.
You think it made it all the way to the Pacific, or is it still local somewhere?
Landfill.
Oh, it might be like, it might be in a landfill somewhere local.
But didn't they used to burn a lot of that stuff back then, which is not good for the environment either?
They could have done that, sure.
Yeah. My mom was trying to save a bill. She burned the garbage right in our fucking house with a wood-burning stove. What?
Yeah,
Everything went into the wood-burning stove in our house.
Is if we screw this all up, if we screw this whole thing up, and then they have to rebuild civilization, like what archaeologists are going to find about us, like all the dumb shit that we've bought,
hilarious
glow sticks and stuff.
Would that be the most embarrassing one? You think? Glow sticks,
sweaters.
Yeah.
Was it an utensil for eating? We're trying to figure out.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Very gross.
The Bill Burr is here.
Look at that shit.
I want to talk a little football, but I definitely want to make sure people understand that Bill Burr's in town promoting F is for Family.
Oh, that's right.
And I saw a lot of the first episode, and then I started watching with my son, and then it's hilarious. By the way, I love it.
Oh,
I watch it. I didn't see it.
But the older brother was trying to cop a feel on the porch.
Oh yeah,
and he's trying to get the girl to touch his dick and stuff, and I'm like, because I'm watching with my son, I'm like, fuck it, because I don't care if there's some curses in there, I don't care about that. I'm like, he already understands cursing, who cares? But then that scene, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna turn this fucking thing on. I gotta be responsible. But he does jump on the bike with a fucking heart on to go help his little brother who's getting beat up in the woods, right?
Yeah,
dude, it's really, really good.
It's hilarious.
What I've seen so far.
Yeah,
These guys end up seeing the whole episode.
Yeah, we watched the whole episode.
I had to turn it off because I couldn't get my kid to do anything else, so I could finish the fucking episode.
What's funny? This is the one thing that I'd never tried to, after all these years of trying to get something on the air. I wasn't even trying to get this on the air. And it just, everything lined up. Like I'd done the stupid, holding deals and all of that crap. And it just, none of my stuff I could ever get. It was always like, well, what is this going to do for children? This is too, sexist, homophobic, everything you did. Unless you just had some dumb guy sitting there,
Yeah.
So then, and then you're tied up in a holding deal, and then you can't do acting on stuff that's actually on TV.
Yeah.
And it takes a year of your career. You're just sitting on the bench, and nothing happens. So I was just like, I don't want to do that process anymore. And I went in and I took a meeting with Wild West, which is Vince Vaughn's company, and they were like, "What do you got?" And I was just like, nothing. I don't have any ideas for a TV show. You guys make movies. I'd love to be in one.
That'd be nice, right?
But I'm not doing the development process. My stuff never gets on the air. And then I was literally walking out the door.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got this idea for a cartoon, but and they wanted to do an animated series, so they brought me in. Initially, what it was going to be was just I was going to do 5-minute vignettes just animating childhood stories.
Sure.
Like at first, early in my career, they got laughs, and then later in my career, they started getting groans. And the kids who wore helmets when they rode bicycles and had play dates started coming up. Not because they couldn't relate to my dad, just because it was socially acceptable to be like, oh, that's bullying. Oh, that's blah, 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 right? So, of course, I never did it. Procrastinating comedian, I never did it. And I ran into these guys, and next thing you know, brought the great Mike Price over from The Simpsons. And
that's who's doing the animation?
No, Gaumont is the I never know what the right terms are. I think they're not the. Let's see, are they the production company? I don't know who they are. Gaumont's the people that hired the people in Ottawa that draw it.
Oh, okay.
Gaumont's in France. It's a long story. Like France, they really hold animation in high esteem, so you actually get a tax break. So it was cheaper for us to do it with them. It's nuts how the whole thing works. But
oh my God, you had to learn the whole business, huh?
Oh yeah, dude, this is a 4-year process.
Wow.
To getting to just half-ass pitching it, to getting it going, to selling it, to then writing it, recording it, drawing it.
Wow.
And now putting it out. And 4 years of work, you guys can devour it in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. And then be like, when's the next 6 coming out?
Oh, my God.
But now we know what the world looks like and all that. That was the hardest thing. I was thinking, like,
trying to develop the whole look.
Because you don't even know what anybody looks like. After we draw, I was like, it's going to be great. And then they was just like, all right, what are the, we spent like 2.5 months on like eyes, nose, and shoulders and how people move. I was like, oh, my God. Like, I have such a respect for writers and people who on that creative level. Like, what we do, Sherrod, it's just like, hey, do 20 minutes, and it takes 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, do 20 minutes on an animated show or anything.
Take 4 months?
Yes. I don't even know how the math works out, but it was a ton of work, but I'm definitely proud of.
But you had to worry about what every character looked like.
Yes.
There had to be times where you're thinking, oh, man, he doesn't look like the father I was thinking in my head at first.
Yeah, there was
or whatever, or some of these characters, the neighbors or whatever.
Yeah, trying to convey. Well, the thing was with the 70s, too, is we had to push through all of the, how they've depicted the 70s. Like one of our mission statements was no lava lamps. because they try to make it seem like everybody in the 70s had a lava lamp and drove a Pacer.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember when the AMC Pacer came out, me and my mother saw it and were laughing, going, that is the ugliest fucking car I've ever seen in my life. You could just see all the way into the car. You could see like the person's ankles. It was like, that looks like a giant dinner roll. And my mother was actually concerned. Like, she's like, is that what cars are going to look like? And we were driving a Chevette, which was a piece of shit. But the way that they
there we go. Look at that fucking ugly thing.
I forgot about the back window on the Pacer.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
try to get a rear end shot of that car in the horizontal lights that wrapped around the car.
I guess they were trying to make it look like a car from the future. That's like a futuristic car for the 70s.
Yeah,
I forgot what that looked like from the back.
It's the bubble top.
Oh yeah,
it's the bubble top.
It's so Epcot Center.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, like we're gonna colonize the moon. Is what's the theme of that? And everybody was just like, those cars were considered horrendous. They didn't even last that long.
No.
That's the sporty one with the racing stripe.
You never see a Pacer out there.
Never.
You always see old cars, but you never see like a Pacer still kind of putting around.
And because nobody kept them as classic cars. Somebody kept it. They're like, hey, I got the old Pacer in the back.
I think if you had a Pacer nowadays,
refurnished,
you'd be kind of cool though, in a weird way.
Dude, you can't believe some of the cars you see out in Los Angeles. Though.
I can imagine.
Just because they just don't die, they don't have that salt in the air and
it's
stuff.
It's like the Cuba.
Dude,
the
I
Cuba.
saw.
You're a big car guy too.
A Pontiac T1000. Do you remember those?
I would have to see a picture.
Pontiac's version of the Chevy Chevette. Okay. They sold like 9 of them. And I'm sitting there going like, oh my God. The Datsun B210. I'm talking about those. There's always going to be like 57 Chevys and classic Shelbys and shit like that, GTOs. You're always going to see those because people love those cars. But those are the cars right there.
That shit reminds me of like my childhood, these cars right here. Like shit like this.
I definitely remember that now that I've seen the picture. Yes.
It reminds me of a teacher's parking lot. I don't know why.
No,
the parent-teacher's night.
The student parking lot.
Yeah.
You would see a lot of those.
Dude, there was a teacher in my high school, like, he drove this fucking shit box. It was like 25 years old. It was a giant American car, like piss yellow. And the driver's side door was... No, the passenger side door, that's right, wouldn't stay shut.
Yeah.
And dude, he had like 1/4-inch thick rope that he had wrapped around the handle and the headrest of the driver's side seat. Right. And people we would walk by laughing at this guy's fucking car.
Well,
how did he teach in a school where he got to fucking face kids who see his car?
No, he somehow had like a little bit of respect. Oh, there's a guy who put a 4x4 kit on the T1000.
My first car was the Dodge Aspen wagon. You can look it up, and the back doors didn't work, so we put a wire from one door to the other. So then my friends would just sit in the back with this wire across them that would fucking cut them in half if we ever in a situation. Yeah, that's the exact car right there. That was my first fucking car. And they had to climb in and out of the windows if they were driving with me.
That's like the Griswolds.
It is a family truckster.
But my dad, his logic was, instead of trying to get the doors fixed, we'll just put wire from one door to the other across the whole back seat. And that's how
another thing.
That's how I drove
ghetto.
It was. We grew up ghetto.
But that's how.
Talk, Sherrod. You'll be proud.
That's how that swirl started. When nobody would do those little bullshit repairs, you had to throw everything out and had to become new again.
Right. Yeah.
People used to get shit repaired, or you just did stuff like that.
Yeah.
Had your 8-year-old hold the door shut as you went down the highway. Hold on to your brother while he holds on to the door. So there's a lot of that in the F is for family. The Bill, smoking and drinking and.
Look, for guys,
I want to see some of it.
It's great.
I don't know about this.
For guys our age, it's perfect because it brought me right back. Well, I mean, you know, the first episode you're bragging about getting the character obviously is bragging about getting a 33-inch TV.
Yeah, color TV. Yeah, that weighed like 10,000 pounds.
And they would, and no one's brilliant about that scene. You were that's how they would sell it. How heavy the fucking TV was. Because I guess the heavier the TV, it just meant that
the better the picture.
It was just a better quality, TV.
Dude, they were so big that when they finally died, you wouldn't throw them out. You had to wait till your kids were big enough to help you carry it out. So then you get a smaller TV and you put it on top.
Right.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you got a fucking
my
9 TVs on top of each other.
My last heavy TV, I just moved to New York. It was about 2002-ish, I guess. And this thing was so heavy, I was starting to make a little money, so I spent some money on a TV. They actually rolled the box into my apartment. They rolled it in, and I sat there. These guys were fucking scary, so I didn't question them. And I was just hoping the damn thing would turn on when they finally got in the living room. It was that fucking heavy.
Remember when the tube would go? The tube would go, and then you wait for the TV repair guy.
Right.
And he'd come over, and he'd put a new tube in it. That's the thing that I do miss is, like, you could actually get shit repaired back then. You didn't have to throw everything out.
Into the ocean?
Yeah. Oh, like my wife recently got the microwave. Like, she found somebody and got it repaired. She wanted to get a new one. I was like, first of all, I fucking can't stand those things anyways. I go, there's got to be some old guy
who fixes,
with some pliers, somebody who can fix this thing. We actually found a person, and just the fact that he didn't throw it out.
You know what?
You know one of the saddest places on earth is when you see one of those old VCR repair shops. It's like, how is this place open?
There's always like 1,500 behind him that people just didn't even come back to pick up.
They just said, fuck it.
The complete chaos of the inventory, and somehow the guy knows where everything is.
That's probably how that happened.
He's dressed like the man from Chico and the Man, some old beat-up brown hat.
Oh, shit.
That's a lost art form, though, the repairman.
The repairman.
When was the last time you had a repairman in your house for anything?
That's like when your cell phone dies. That's just it. You
give
it to them, they repair it, and they give it to some poor kid in I don't know where.
Yeah.
Other side of the planet.
Only repairman that I even remember is fucking Maytag repairman, and he raped Arnold and Willis.
No kidding,
Arnold and Dudley.
Good old Dudley.
Dudley.
We're at a time where now when something breaks, your mindset is time to get a new one. You don't even think maybe I could fix this fucking thing.
Those TVs used to be furniture though. We used to consider televisions like furniture. They had to have drawers and shit on them.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was that?
But
and they still on the planet out there floating in the Pacific.
Well, the F is for family. When is it? We got a couple more days, right? The 18th, I think.
It comes out Friday. And would like to tell you some of the people who are on it. Laura Dern does the voice of my wife. Justin Long plays Kevin.
Oh, I love it.
Sam Rockwell plays Vic, the next door neighbor. Haley Reinhart does the young voice of me, which was the hardest thing to find.
Who?
Haley Reinhart. She was actually a finalist in one of those shows, American Idol or something like that. But it's very hard to find a voice actor to do a little boy's voice because if the boy's complaining, and the voice hasn't changed yet, he's going to sound like a little bitch. You know what I mean? So she's got that raspy thing. So it was hopefully not annoying. That's what we were trying not to get away from. But Debbie Derryberry, Mo Collins, Kevin Farley, Michael Richardson. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people in there.
Who does Kevin Farley play?
He plays Babe. And a couple of the other, he does some of the outer characters.
Okay.
And but what's great about the show is we already have something to develop his character even more, God willing, if we get like a second season.
And it's a series too, because each episode leads to the next one, right?
Yeah, the serialized, which I didn't want to do.
Probably should have used.
I didn't want to do that. Because I'm an idiot. I was going like, let's just do it like The Simpsons. Everything stands alone.
Yeah.
And that was Netflix's idea.
Okay.
And I was like, why would they want to do that? And then within like 2 hours of writing that way, it took it to a whole nother level. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I get it, because this makes people keep wanting to watch as you go along.
You got to see the next one.
And I would assume but each episode absolutely stands alone in its own right.
Right. Well, so how we're going to do it is each season, hopefully, is going to be a semester of these kids' school. So if we do like 5-6 seasons, the kids will only age like 2 years. So
I was going to ask you about that, because all the cartoons we grew up with, no one aged.
No one aged. We'll try to keep it.
You age them a little bit.
Age them a little bit,
just
because I always think that like. What's his face? The biggest, craziest one that I saw, Child Star, like changing from one season to another. Do you guys remember that show, Alice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the kid, Tommy.
Tommy,
Tommy was like the most adorable kid ever. And then he came back with this fucking long, thin head and these giant horse teeth. He looked like he was 25.
Yeah, he was like 7'4" when he came back.
Yeah, he came back.
There he is. He's like,
look up there.
That's the problem with working with kid actors. That's why even with Chris Rock, with Everybody Hates Chris, they have to shoot everything in a row.
Yeah.
Because these kids grow up so fast. They got a different face on the next season, so you got to do it. You got to do it all
all-
summer,
No.
all winter, all spring.
He was this cute little kid, and then he came back. He had like this horse head. This long.
Yes, he was a weirdo.
I see it. That's hilarious.
Can I mention one thing about Bill's show?
Yeah, you got to see it too. There,
Yeah, I
Justin.
loved it. The one part that really made me laugh, it was the TV show that the dad would watch, the cop show.
Oh, Colt Luger.
Yeah, goddamn. And it's that old '70s cop show where the guy's got like a big gut and he's an older guy.
It's the old in shape, out of shape guy.
Yeah, what it's supposed to be. Colt Luger is like a guy who used to be a movie star, and he was definitely a sex symbol back in the day, and now he's doing TV. So and then he's always, anybody he fights is always some minority. They're always half his age, totally shredded, but inexplicably he wins the fight with his bastardized like kung fu. Because that was like right around then, like people were trying to understand what Bruce Lee was doing. Like one of the great fucking karate scenes you'll ever see is Frank Sinatra in The Manchurian Candidate.
Yes.
When he does that thing where he's just sort of has his hands in karate chop mode.
Right.
It was just classic. They were kind of doing something like this in the war before we were shooting. And they had some sort of stance. I can't remember with the post-traumatic, the shell shock of it. So, so he's got a catchphrase. A man's got to do what a man does.
Yeah. You could do a spinoff just of that show, and I would watch that as well.
We're thinking about doing a full episode on the...
Smart.
He's one of our favorite... and he's total sexist.
Yeah.
And, he hit, slapping women.
Yeah,
and
he pushed a woman in her face.
Yeah.
It really made me laugh.
The good old days.
You certainly feel like you've seen that TV show growing up.
Yeah.
That's
so
for
we
sure.
use the TV. The TV is where like a lot of the we couldn't have the characters just going around like being over the top. Like a lot of the sexism, the underlying racism, and all that is in the TV with the ridiculousness of the commercials and the way that they advertise them. Like he works at the airport for Mohican Airlines, and they have this Native American one of those offensive logos and stuff that was considered not even remotely offensive back then.
You didn't even think twice back then.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, you wait till you see the episode. We actually do a commercial.
Oh, good.
For Mohican Airways.
I think this F is for Family is going to just destroy.
And how long did it take to do the 6 episodes? Like
4 years, he said.
Well, I mean, the whole process.
Once they greenlit it.
From the thought to the 18th, 4 years.
But to actually the creative process, we finally, this is a show, you have the money, and start writing. That was September of last year.
Okay.
And it took us about a year to do these 6. But like a lot of that, though, we like I said, like 2 months of it was literally sitting there going, okay, what does this world look like? And really describing. We were like, we don't want Saturday Night Fever, that New York, because that was shot then.
Yes.
But by the end of it, they just distilled it down to what John Travolta was wearing in that movie. So everybody had a collar out to here and platform shoes. So we were trying to be like more like Rust Belt, Serpico era, that early 70s Vietnam War just starting to end. So we got out of the whole disco thing, which has been done to death. And like Kevin's into like prog rock.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, we got a band.
Fuck, I can't wait to see all these episodes.
Oh yeah, we got an episode where he goes to see his favorite.
What prog rock? Are you mentioning actual bands?
No, but he's into this prog rock band, and he wants to go see them.
Yeah.
And they're opening for like this Led Zeppelin type band. It's one of those bad bills. Like why would you put this band on in front of this other band? Which always happens as a comic. So we have a lot of that type of stuff. Going to a football game's another one. What the stadiums used to be back. You go there. You just had the giant trough that everybody just peed in.
Yes.
Dude, I remember when I went to Fenway Park.
Yes.
Fenway Park. I swear to God, they had like troughs that faced each other. So you were standing there, you just had that junk out. I remember standing there like on my tiptoes trying to piss into this fucking horse trough. And there was all these fucking guys with their hairy balls and dick out. And it's just like...
As a little kid, it's disturbing.
It totally was disturbing, but it was just considered like, whatever.
I don't remember actually having it so where you could go on both sides of that to pee. I don't remember that.
They had, like, it was...
I remember those things, and they would just put all the ice in it.
I just remember being eye level with every hairy cock at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
everybody's little boy.
And it might be the traumatic way that I remembered it. I might have came walking in and just the angle.
Tippy-toeing, I remember doing.
It was a lineup of dicks. It might have been that. I can't really remember. As far as how I remember it is there was a trough, and then there was a little space like with some sort of water, and then on the other side was another trough, and people just standing there. Dude, nobody had stage fright back then. You're just, take it out, let's go. We've all fought in a war. Who
You're
gives a
absolutely
shit?
right. You just pull it out. Fuck it.
My biggest fear as a kid was touching my dick on that fucking thing. I had to tippy-toe every time. Because it was just one size. They didn't have a lower one for children.
Dude, it would just be able to get the helmet just over the
holding their
top.
sons over, standing on the side of the rail.
As a little kid, you just get the helmet just over the top.
It's gross.
They had none of that shit figured out. They didn't have urinals for kids yet.
You stood there pissing right next to your dad.
Or you remember that they would lift up the kid.
Yes, they would lift the kid up or have the kid standing on the edge peeing in there.
Yeah, all that shit. What? A lot of this, I mean, that's why this thing is going to be so damn good. A lot of this stuff is in.
I want to see Billy's character. Where's your?
For family.
Can we put it?
It's
which one are you?
Well, Billy does the voice of the father.
And the dad is an amalgam of all of our dads.
Right. But who's the character playing you? Who the chick's doing the voice?
Haley Reinhart, Little Bill. So that's the kid, the sister Maureen.
Okay.
So I mean, I had like 4 brothers and a sister. So there's only two boys and a girl in this, and
yeah, I like. I've heard some interviews that you did, and in the writers' room, it was pretty much everyone's experience growing up that you threw into.
Yeah,
this.
well, I wanted my family and everybody to be able to watch this and not be like mortified. I wanted them to see like elements of like, I remember that, like that. I'll put you through that fucking wall. Like my dad used to say that.
Yeah,
and he did one time say it. We were outside. And he was mad. And I'll put you through that fucking wall. Immediately, like, he's pointing at the woods. So we're sitting there, like, snickering, like, wanting to be like, yeah, Dad, there is no wall. We're outside. We're outside. But, like...
You don't want to say that.
No, not at all.
You need some more lines, Dad, because we're not inside right now.
Yeah, you need a new catchphrase. Your catchphrase only works inside.
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly because it's a cartoon, but they really did capture the look of the 70s. Even, like, the woods... Even like the woods where you go out there and there's old like washing machines and shit you would just find out there in the woods.
Yeah, and there was always the new housing developments that they were building, and like
go play around.
There was no internet. Yeah, there's no internet, so you'd steal lumber to build a tree fort.
Yes,
or you just throw rocks through the windows.
That's right. The tree forts that's in the scene.
You were one of the throw rocks through the windows. I've told that story too. I grew up with a kid. I used to say his name. Maybe I shouldn't anymore. And we would run through the developments. I thought, oh wow, we get to go upstairs when the house isn't even built yet, and go in the basements and stuff. And we're just having like, easy fun. And then this kid that we would run with for a little while, I finally had to tap out. He was the one taking the rocks, going fuck that. It was just taking out windows in these of these houses in these new developments. And I remember as a kid being scared shitless, going,
do you remember?
This isn't fun anymore, man.
We used to go in there like, dude, we were like, I swear to God, I was like 6, 7, and hanging out with kids who were like 5.
Yeah,
just be a cluster of kids, and you go into a house, and they had just started to build the stairs. All they had was the framing of it, so they didn't have the piece of wood that went across. So we would be like going up on the skinny piece of wood,
all that,
and it was like, the one that led from the main floor to the second floor was right above the basement. So if you fell, you fell straight down all the way down to the dirt.
Completely remember all this.
Yeah, and your parents used to just let you go outside, like go outside. And then you'd run into your friends, and then your group of kids would run into another group of kids.
Yeah.
And with your kid brains, you would decide what you were going to do that day.
Yeah.
And there could be anything from let's play baseball to let's throw rocks in somebody's pool.
But my thing was the excitement was trying to get upstairs when there's no staircases and go, wow, this is cool. And then,
we did that in abandoned buildings.
Would just pick up these boulders and throw them through bay windows. I'm like, can't we just do them? It's already fun.
Yeah, we didn't do that every time, but a couple of times we did do stuff like that.
We played in abandoned buildings, not so many new developments.
See, I would have loved to done that. I love going.
One of my boys was in junior high school. It was right next to our school, and every time at lunchtime we used to go in there and play.
Yeah,
my boy Sam fell through the floor. It was like third floor, second floor, fell through that and landed in dog shit.
Come on,
and it was the greatest moment of my life.
It has to be
a pile of dog shit.
I remember saying to my childhood friend, I would just say to him, I'd say, hey, you want to go play with matches? Like you would literally just, and you'd go, you'd like get some pine needles together and you just light them on fire, like right underneath the tree. I set the woods on fire one time, and thank God this guy was there. He was over there in 2 seconds because I was near his fucking house. And he had a giant like trash can that he had filled up with water, and he just kept dumping it on there. Another one of my friends, he lit the woods on fire to the point the firehouse had to come down and put it out, and he was so nervous he went down to the firehouse and ratted out my brother.
Really?
Going like, I think I know who did it. You know that they knew they were lying, but we knew it was him because his dad used to have, we used to call them monkey matches. Right. He had these books of matches. Remember back then, like monkeys doing human things was considered hilarious. So he had these books of matches, and it would be like, you know, a picture of a monkey like with a cigar playing poker.
Right.
So his dad used to, I guess, found those funny. So we saw those, like the evidence there. So we knew it was him. And, you know, that's just. There was no internet. There was no video games. So you lit shit on fire.
I have a similar story. Our story ended a little differently. It was me and my two brothers. We're all almost the same fucking age. And we did the same thing. You start with little pine needles, little dry leaves. And then you get bored. Like, I think we can handle a bigger fire. And then we got the army men and they're melting. Yeah. And then I remember, like it was yesterday, just a little wind. Over to this next pile of leaves. Fast forward, the whole fucking woods are on fire. The fire department shows up and you know, has to put out the fucking fire behind our house. It was getting close to our neighbor's house.
What?
It was really bad. And as kids, we're thinking, we can handle this, and we're like trying to stomp out the fire with our little fucking sneakers. And then they lined us up in the backyard. And I remember from school that oily rags could start fires. Yeah. So they're fucking questioning us now. Like, do you guys know anything about it? And stupid me, I'm thinking I'm gonna you know, get us out of this. I'm like, I remember seeing some oily rags in the woods. Idiot. And then we grew up with it was a big house with woods behind us. It was our playground. And our punishment was we fucking were grounded for the whole summer and couldn't leave the fucking driveway. And as a 12-year-old, we were probably even younger than 12, that was fucking torture. And then our friends would come over and our cousins and stuff, and they'd be able to run in the woods because we had tree forts and all that shit up there. Right. And we had to fucking hang out on the driveway and watch everyone else.
And your parents stuck with the punishment, too.
Yes, they did back in the day. Now you feel guilty after 5 minutes. Like, all right, fuck.
Dude, we used to have a rule. We had a rule in our house when we were little. If you didn't finish your dinner, or your supper, as we called it, you didn't finish your supper, my parents would take like cellophane, wrap up your meal, stick it in the fridge, and you had to eat it for breakfast.
Oh, yes. Right.
Yes.
So it was, so you learned to not waste, right?
Sure. Are we long lost brothers?
I think
These are all the same exact fucking story. That's
the
probably
worst thing was when, I remember if you had like cube steaks, which were hard to chew as a 6-year-old when they were hot. It was such a piece of shit part of the cow.
Is a bad guy.
Eating that for fucking breakfast while everyone else is having waffles, and you got that in half-eaten green bean casserole.
God. But that was normal too.
That would be considered abuse. Dude, my mother one time was driving down the street. My two youngest brothers were acting up, and she goes, "I swear to God, if you two don't knock it off, I'm pulling over to the side of the road and I'm spanking your bare butts right on the side of the road." And they just kept going. They kept going. And my mother pulled over, spanked their bare ass on the side of the road. All I remember was people driving by, blowing the horns, laughing their ass off. Dude, nowadays they would
call a cop immediately.
Oh, you're arrested.
They'd film it and they'd take your kids away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had the same thing with our food, but my mom would set up a timer, too, to put that little extra element into it.
Like you have to eat before the timer went off?
Whatever it was,
you
10 minutes.
10 minutes to eat your plate?
It's prison. But I swear to you, I don't remember what would happen if that fucking timer went off. Maybe nothing. Maybe we never got to that point because we were pretty scared of my mom in general growing up.
Dude, I remember one time my mother made something we fucking hated. It was this sandwich spread. It literally looked like vomit. I swear to God, it was just like she'd grind it up in this fucking meat grinder. Yeah. It was just called sandwich spread, right? And we hated it.
Was it like pickles or something smashed up in it?
There was pickles in there and bologna and just pig noses, and I don't know what. It was fucking gross.
It was called like a sandwich spread. I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh, it was gross, right? So she made this shit, and we hated it. We say, we're not eating it. And she'd be like, it tastes good. And we'd be like, Mommy, it looks like throw up. She'd be like, oh, it does not. And it totally did.
Yeah.
So we were sitting there just trying to force this shit down. And she loved it because she's like, you guys are going to sit there until you finished that. So then she could actually clean the house or do whatever the hell she had to do. And we were like quarantined. So I remember one of my brothers, I still can't even rat him out. He took 3/4 of his sandwich. And was crying, laughing. He took it and he just dropped it behind the stereo. like there was this. My dad had this giant wood thing that he kept the stereo on. He just dropped it behind there.
No.
And we were laughing our asses off. And then what was funny was she was just like, "Did you eat it?" He goes, "Yep, ate it all up." And then we just got on with our lives and completely forgot about it. And like 4 days later, it's just reeking. Behind there was all ants and stuff. And, then as usual, who did it? Who did it? Nobody would rat it out. Then everybody has to go to bed at like 2 in the afternoon. And you're just laying in your bed wide awake with all this kid energy.
Holy fuck, I remember that too.
Yeah.
They would send you to bed and the sun would still be out for some punishment.
That'd be the worst.
But I'm one of 7, so I think that was just like, we need some fucking time to ourselves. So everyone's going to bed at 4 today because that one acted up.
I remember if I got sent to bed, we lived in a split entry.
Yeah.
So our bedroom, the windows were at like ground level.
Yeah.
So if I got sent to bed early, my brother or somebody would be like, "Yeah, why isn't Bill out?" "Oh, he got sent to bed for whatever." And then they'd knock on the window and start giving me shit. And I'd get all mad, start crying in my bed.
You're playing basketball right outside your window and you're in bed for the night.
Oh, having a great time and just laying there wide awake.
Completely normal behavior when we were growing up. I have 2 kids. I can't imagine doing any of this stuff.
One time,
I can't imagine.
I found my mother had these old coins.
Yeah.
And I stole them, and I flagged down the ice cream man. And I got like whatever, I got like whatever the fuck I got, some ice cream cone, and then I just gave him like something from the 1800s, and he just looks at it and is like, "All right," and just fucking drove away. So then I eat the ice cream, and then the guilt, like the telltale heart, the guilt is just on me. So I just literally go to my mom and go, "Hey mom, do you have any old coins?" And she was all excited, thinking like was showing interest in something intellectual, and she couldn't find them, and then she realized that they were gone. And then it became like, what's going on? Who took this? And nobody knew. And then of course we were looking for them, and I of course found the little satchel that she had.
Yeah.
It's like, I found the satchel behind the toilet, like I'm a good boy. And then I tried to blame my brother.
So you brought it up to take your name off the suspect list.
There was some guilt.
Burr
had some guilt.
And the whole thing blew up. It all blew up in my face, and that was another one I remember going to bed. Like you going to bed. Go to bed with no supper, or just go to bed in general.
I forgot until this day going to bed early, not like 7 or 8, like in the middle of the afternoon. You brought up a great memory. And we would all have
torture.
And like Bill said, they would find an excuse, well, because you acted up, everyone is going to bed now. Or because we can't figure out who did this thing, everyone goes to bed early.
Yeah, my parents would line us all up, just stand there going, "Who did it?
Right.
Who did it? Did you do it?
Yeah.
Who did it?" And we'd just sit there. I remember one time my older brother had gotten into some paint, and he painted the Matchbox cars. It wasn't that big a deal, but you're not supposed to do it. You got some paint on the floor.
Yeah.
And they just kept going, "Who did it? Who did it?" We were standing there forever. I'm like, my fucking feet were falling asleep. So I finally just go, "I did it." And my mother goes, "You did it?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "All right, go to bed." Right? It's like fucking 1 in the afternoon. I'm like, fuck. So I go down and go to bed. And then my older brother came in. He's like, my older brother's going like, "Bill, you did it? You did it?" And I'm thinking in my head, like, "No, you did it, you fucking asshole."
Obviously,
I was
you
like,
did
"I'm not
it.
going to stand there for the rest of the day."
Right.
You had 50 opportunities
right. You
to admit it.
Right. Of course I didn't do it. I'm looking at a still of F is for Family, and like you said, he nailed the 70s.
Yeah.
That's linoleum in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Remember linoleum?
Dude, the phone on the wall.
Well, that's
a great joke in there, too. But yeah,
No, I mean, the phone is that. I mean, whatever. It's more the linoleum. That's great detail right there.
Yeah, we worked really hard on
and the horrendous
I can't
colors.
wait to see this thing. I can't
colors,
wait.
Everything's
the
orange
horrendous
and yellow.
Oranges and browns and
lime
greens
green.
that we grew up with.
Yeah.
That was modern back then. The
70s was brutal.
Orange, brown, green.
Well, look, having said that, what's cool though is if you didn't grow up in the 70s, there's still enough of this,
Oh no, it's Bill. You're gonna do great with this. Come on, F is for Family.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's on Netflix. It starts on Friday. You can watch all 6 episodes.
Now that you got the whole world established in there, it's easy to do episodes.
I'm hoping next, God willing, if we get like a second season. I mean, I don't know if that's 10 or 12 that we got to do, but like, You know, dude, like, the episodes are just something simple, like, hey, let's go throw snowballs at cars. Like, that's something, or somebody takes the family car out, or somebody's, tries weed for the first time, or it's just like, it was all like, that's what the vignettes were going to be. It was just like, our family looked like Norman Rockwell.
Right.
So it was just going to be like, family gets a Christmas tree, which is a total Norman Rockwell thing, but it's all the dysfunction.
Of course.
But then it always came back to, in the end, you had the fire going, and you were decorating it, and there was really this thing, but then there was all the psychological damage and all the shit that happened.
Of course, to get there.
Up until the, oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, there's a...
Yeah, it's that's awesome, man.
That's great.
I gotta ask you about the pie crust video going viral.
That's over 600,000 views.
What is that?
I've known Bill for 15 years now, probably. Yeah. I had no idea you were such a cook for real.
Wait,
like,
what?
You really like cooking.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I had no idea.
I had no idea until right now.
I'll be honest, when I saw the pie crust video, I'm like, oh, Bill's, fooling around here, and it's funny and whatever. And I'm like, then I heard you on I heard you on Rogan and some other places, and I'm like,
oh, I bought Rogan some
I saw you.
pies.
I didn't see. I was listening. You brought like 2 or 3 pies, but it turns out Bill really likes cooking for
it's
real.
Therapeutic, ain't it, Billy?
I like to bake. There you go, Sherrod.
I see it down there.
What's really interesting about the video is that he does a great job. I watched the whole thing. Yeah. He has no idea what any of the things are called. You got this metal thing, you turn it. It's my grandma's. I don't know why you do this. Look, it makes it better. You got the little balls of shortening in there. Like,
see, I thought this was, I thought this was a goof video. Like, Bill's gonna fool around with some cooking, and I'm like, no, he really likes cooking.
Now, bacon is more serious than cooking because you got to pay more attention to bacon.
Nah, people make a big deal out of it. It isn't.
Really?
It isn't. Nah, and I think if you're off by just a hair, it's not going to work. It's all fear.
I'll fuck the crust up.
Nah, you could do it, dude. It's not that difficult. Just watch the video.
I took a cooking class, and
look at that, 624,000. Oh, that thing's got more hits than my fucking special.
It's moving too. We'll tweet it out today. It'll get a few more. Yeah, and then I learned that you sit and watch you've always watched cooking shows and all that, right?
I used to. Well, I watched.
I'm addicted to them.
I watched the Food Channel Jump the Shark. It used to just be the great chefs or whatever cooking and teaching you the principles of it. Like, I used to love Molto Mario, which was he would just be in his kitchen and he had some friends over, which is one of the great things you can do is make a meal for a friend. It's one of the greatest, most simple things you could do. And he would just, I learned a lot of the principles just watching him. And then all of a sudden it just became, Emerald came around and started going, bam! You take it to another level. And he just started screaming. And he had a band and shit, and now all of a sudden they're all like, who can make it, here's your ingredients, salmon and a banana. Make me scrambled eggs. Oh, I don't know. They made it all stressful. Like, cooking is relaxing. Yes. They just had to, like, ramp it up, and I hate that Iron Chef shit where it's just like, you got 20 minutes to make a souffle. Yeah. And you got all these people running around freaking out. So
they pushed a little, they got a little adrenaline.
Everything's a contest.
There's adrenaline now.
Oh, and that guy driving around to fucking greasy spoons. Yeah.
Good old Guy Fieri does the show.
Skin cancer,
He's rock and roll. Guy Fieri's all rock and roll.
With the backwards sunglasses. Yes. He looks like every guy, when I go to see a band I saw in the 80s, that I see in the crowd, and I just think, oh, God, I'm old. Oh, no, I'm old.
I like Chopped. You like the show Chopped where they give them like 3 ingredients and make them battle?
No, it's stupid.
I like that show.
He likes it just.
It's a good watch.
I used to be educational, and then it turned into this whole just screaming and yelling and all this shit. Like I've been to almost all of Mario Batali's restaurants. Right. I think Loop has probably been my favorite here.
Okay.
I've been to his place out in L.A. The one that he had, was it Babo? Out here, dude, that's when they just they have like pheasant face ragu, like all this shit that you would never eat. That gets me a little, that got me a little queasy, but.
No, I mean, you want it all slow and nice, because it's like meditative too, really. You're just sitting there, you're not really thinking of anything, you're just kind of in the moment, right?
It's great. Yeah, Mario Batali, the well method, you make homemade pasta.
I don't know any of this.
It's the shit.
You make your own pasta?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if
What's
I have
the well
time.
method?
The well method is basically, you just have your flour and then you make a little well. And that's what you put your eggs in, and then your water, and you swirl it around, and it gradually turns into the. It's great. It's like a kid. Yeah, it's like a
science project.
It's like a mud puddle. You get to play in a mud puddle.
But you get to eat it at the
So
end.
everybody told me I fucked this part up there. What I'm supposed to do is roll the crust back onto the rolling pin, which I didn't know that thing, and also to use lard rather than Crisco. And
so they're giving
lard.
They're giving you pointers.
Yeah, so then I get better at it.
Right.
Look at that pie crust. God damn it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That looks delicious.
That's pretty damn good, you son of a bitch.
Do you cook weekly when you're home?
Yeah, I just learned how to. I smoked some ribs last week.
You got a
I learned how
smoker?
to do that.
Good for you.
No, I had the big green egg that you can.
You can rent?
No, you turn it into like a smoker, sort of. I would actually like to just get a smoker, but.
Billy's been holding out. This motherfucker's a chef.
I had
no,
I'm
not. I'm pretty decent though.
But
I enjoy cooking though. Cooking is one of my. It's like just a personal time. It's great.
Come on, look at those.
Get away from everybody. Oh shit, this motherfucker. Nice.
Swipe to the left.
How long you did it? How long you had to smoke that for?
Just like 4 hours. And my smoke only was really coming out for the first hour and a half, and I thought I fucked it up, but it's still nice. See that? Not bad. Not bad for a pasty fucking son of a bitch.
That's like fucking good meat.
You're out of here at 8:30, Bill?
Yeah, I am media boy today.
You already gave us a great hour. I want to, before you leave, I want to ask you about the Patriots. I saw the first half of the game last night. They're looking damn good again. Gronk is back.
These last couple of weeks when we lost, I mean, that Brady was driving a rental. The Lambo was in the shop. Everybody was hurt. You know what I mean?
2 losses in a row?
2 losses in a row.
Yeah, because they looked at that Eagles.
Which is great. I think is great because that year we went undefeated. It was an albatross around our neck. Everybody got all amped up to knock us off. What happened was we got busted for cheating, right? The video thing, right? Which most people think, oh, that's how they won all their championships. They don't realize that was the first game that it was illegal. It was a brand new rule, and we were cunts, and we kept doing it, right? So then they questioned all our titles, and I feel like what they did was like, oh, okay, well, this is what we could have been doing, and that's when we ran up the score. We did that through September, and then by October, everyone was like, well, you're not going to come in here and embarrass us, and we played like a playoff game from like mid-October all the way through to the end of it, and the hype was so big that when we played the Giants, the hype was so big. Like we played the Giants the last game of the year that year, and the score was like 37-34. We gave up 34 points to them. By the time the Super Bowl came around, we were like 14-point favorites or something a month later. That's how many people had bought into it, and Vegas was just trying to get money on the other side of the ball. So I love that we lost a couple of games, but I think. I believe in the Panthers, man. I really, because they got that sick ass defense.
They do.
And I don't think Cam Newton is afraid. Like Cam Newton is not striking me as that guy. He's got to get there and learn. The playoffs are a different thing. No. I don't think he's that guy. I think he's just like, yeah, whatever, man. Let's just play.
I think you're right about that.
I think he's a natural fucking leader.
Yeah,
player.
Yeah,
and he looks like a movie star. Like he's one of those guys. He could have done like 12 different things. If he wasn't so big, he could have been an astronaut. He's one of those guys.
Well, you're a quarterback. It looks like a movie star.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does.
You got the movie star quarterback. But my quarterback, not so much. Ryan Fitzpatrick, not so much.
Not so much.
But the Jets are hanging in there, 8-5.
So, what do you think? The Panthers?
In there.
The Panthers are better off losing a game now before they get to the playoffs.
No, I think that it's okay to be undefeated in like the South, or to be like Indianapolis. They went 13-0 like a zillion times. There's no pressure.
Right.
It's Indiana.
Right.
But if you do it on the East Coast, where all the media is and all that, it becomes like this
bigger thing.
This storm. Yeah, like dude, the shit that Jim Irsay has done.
Right.
Okay, he did it in Indiana. Nobody gives a fuck.
No one gives a flying fuck.
If you did that, if you did what he did in New York City,
you'd be the mayor.
Oh yeah. No, but you can't be like, you can't be, You couldn't be some pill-popping psychopath. and I'm not trying to be a jerk. I mean, God bless the guy. He had a problem, but he was allowed to work it out out there in Indiana. If you did that in New York, it would have been over.
Yeah, you can't work it out on the East Coast. But Gronk is back. I thought he was going to be out for the season. Turns out it was a deep bone bruise or something.
Dude, somebody.
Now, what exactly is that, though?
The guy was running full speed. If you look at it,
I saw.
Dives in with his helmet and just clips his kneecap.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
The other night I fell down the stairs, like the final four.
What?
I didn't turn the light on, and I didn't want to wake up my wife, and I'd had a couple of scotches. I was definitely tipsy, but I wasn't like, movie drunk.
Yeah.
And I slipped, and I fell down the final 4 stairs, dude, and my foot went sideways, and my ankle bone just clipped the wood stair. Oh my God, dude, I was in a heap. My wife jumped up like, oh my God. I didn't even make an attempt to get up. I was just laying in the fetal position.
How long were you there?
It was one of those things. I hit it so hard.
Yeah.
It actually took to like probably 3 days later for the real pain to set in. I mean, I just had the scraped skin, so the air hitting it that hurt, and I was like, all right, I'll be fine. I'll be fine in the morning. Then in the morning, I was like debating on whether I could wear socks just to have something up against it. So I can't imagine
what he went through.
A cornerback running with a 440, diving in and just clipping your knee with an NFL football helmet.
And Gronk, has had a lot of injuries, but he said that was the worst pain he's ever felt.
I believe it.
It looked like it. He looked like a fish out of water. He was just flopping around. I don't ever want to feel that level of pain.
Brady needed him back.
Turf toe, people say hurt a lot too. Like turf toe is just as painful.
Right.
I don't want to see any of that pain.
Speaking of football, I got to say, man.
Or as alcoholics call it, gout.
Yeah. I got to say,
it's rich man's disease.
The Buffalo Bills 30 for 30 that premiered over the weekend is fucking good. About them losing the 4 Super Bowls. Scott Norwood still has pain. Still.
To this day.
And he's aged way more than the rest of the boys. Almost more than Jim Kelly, and Jim Kelly's been through hell and back.
He didn't choke. He just didn't hit it, if that makes sense. He kicked it straight. It just never hooked back in. He had the distance. He didn't look nervous or anything. It's just, it was not a gimme.
It was one of those things.
It was a 48-yarder on grass, and I think they said that it was a 50-50 shot for all kickers in the league. Not just him.
Did they bring up the fact that Belichick was the defensive coordinator and shut down their high-powered offense? Mm-hmm. That was the real story, I think, more so than...
Yeah, they lost to, they lost to the Giants, then the Redskins, and then the Cowboys twice.
Yeah!
Cowboys destroyed them the last 2.
Them boys, babe!
But it's a great 30 for 30 because you can see those guys. They're trying to make it a positive story and how great the team was.
They'll build it around the Don Beebe, the Don Beebe slapping the ball. Of course they did.
It just shows how this city doesn't quit.
Right.
And they dust themselves off and they get back up again. They use it as a metaphor.
You didn't see the 30 for 30.
No, but
that's exactly what they did.
Because they've done that. They've already done that a zillion times.
But Beebe got his Super Bowl.
You're down by 50, yet you didn't stop.
But you never give up.
I think that right there is what makes this country great.
It was Leon Led, right?
Yeah.
Showboating.
Oh my God!
And then Beebe knocked it out of his hand, even though the score was like 51-3 at that time. I don't know what the exact score.
Leon Led
it was way over that game.
He had like 3 of those plays in his career. He had that one. He had the one where, don't touch it. Game's over, and he dives on the ball.
Dives on the ball, and kicks it out the fucking back of the end zone.
Or something.
He's an idiot.
And at least no one saw that it was on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
People were busy. I'm listening to Belt Buckle. They didn't see that.
Leon Led enjoyed the blow, didn't he? Did he have some?
I don't know. I don't know this.
Off-field kind of activities. I think he did.
We know a little bit about Dallas just from some people we know, but I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever he did, it didn't affect his on-field.
But Beebe got his, and then Polian got his Super Bowl too with the Colts.
Beebe got his with the Packers?
Yeah, 90.
I was at that game.
That's right, against your Patriots.
Yeah. When, what's-his-face ran that kickoff back, we had end zone seats. He was running right at us. I was like, we still got a shot? Yeah, we're right in. And it's just fucking, I think it was just started the half or something.
But
like, all right, that was cool.
You think the Giants going to beat the Panthers this week?
The Giants, like the football gods, love Eli Manning.
They do.
They love that man, and he's a fucking gamer. I'm
even
actually
at Ole Miss, same shit.
Even as a Patriots fan, I actually love the Giants. I love Steelers. I like defensive-minded teams, but like, dude, that guy is like he's Freddy Krueger, man. You can't kill that guy. He's got like a 5-7 record, and they're only like a game out. It's like that happens to Eli.
It's a shit.
And he also totally delivers. I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying, like that guy. If you give him anything,
you can't count him out ever.
No. Not at all.
I agree with you.
He's the Manning you do not want to run into in the playoffs, because even if he does something messed up, it's always like he throws it behind him and the guy catches his helmet and his tape. He's got it on his tape, and he runs it in, touchdown. One of the most unbelievable, inconceivable. It's just like
that's right.
It's just unbelievable. Like, and I would say it was luck, but he did it twice. Paul Verzi, you guys have in here. He's a huge Giant fan, and he said something that I think is really on the money. He goes, what drives him nuts, because he's a huge Giant fan, he goes, you know what it is, Bill? He goes, they fucking play to the competition.
Yep.
If they play a great team, they play great. If they play a shit team, they don't even show up. It drives them him insane. But he doesn't. He thinks that their defense, their corners are not up to snuff.
Well, Verzi was cool, man.
Yeah,
we finally got him in here.
Oh, that's right. He said he had a good time.
All right, man.
Said he had a good time.
I like Paul. We'll have him back. I got to go back to the 30 for 30 because they also they film a lot of it around Niagara Falls and them staring because all they want to do is get across the river. That metaphor, and they never got it.
Nonsense.
And there's Norwood. Looking at the falls, just all they want to do is get across.
Somebody should have pushed him in his back like he's Billy Burr at a urinal.
They weren't able to. A lot of people say they lost their first Super Bowl besides the Norwood kick because they partied their asses off.
Oh, did they?
They got down there early and really enjoyed their time.
So they were like the Mets in a way, the 80s Mets.
Right. And then a lot of people say, well, the reason they lost 4 was because the AFC was so much weaker than the NFC, and they proved that point wrong. They were like 14-2 against the NFC over the course of the 4 Super Bowls, I believe. And
you know what's interesting is if Norwood did hit that, you gotta, like they always say, like, you know, how many does that change the psyche? They would automatically maybe win another one. It's like, but they also could go the way the Bears did, or way the Mets do, where you're so good that, you know, everybody gets like an ego. You ever see Pat Riley, one of the great speeches, and I actually read this in Bill Simmons' book. He had this speech, The Disease of More, which is basically when you win one, then everybody wants more. They want more playing time. They want more money. They want more endorsements.
Right.
Rather than being like, dude, this was the formula.
Right.
Let's
now,
stay there.
Yeah. Now you're gonna fuck with everything.
A lot of distractions come into it after that. Yeah, all the opportunities that come with winning the championship.
Some of the decisions people make, like in some of these contracts, like that guy the Red Sox signed for the third. I never watched baseball. The third baseman from the Giants. It's like, dude, you just won a World Series every other year 3 times. Like, how does that get old?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to take extra money to go there, or what's his face, your second baseman going out to Seattle.
Right.
Taking $200 million to be out there in the rain for the rest of your career.
It's tough to say no to all that fucking money.
Yeah, but you're still going to get Yankee money. Who gives a fuck if you get $160 million?
Exactly. You get more endorsements. He went out there on the island. Nobody even knows him now.
That's the thing. And the thing about it is, dude, if you hit like 300 in New York, is like hitting 380 in Seattle.
Yes.
As far as the attention you're going to get, it's just how it works.
Right.
I think it's nuts.
One other thing about the 30 for 30, because I'm a little distracted. Thurman Thomas lost his helmet during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember this?
He couldn't find his helmet.
And it was fucking, these guys work with Harry Connick Jr. It was Harry Connick Jr.'s people that fucking took Thurman Thomas's helmet during the Super Bowl because they needed that. They were getting ready for the halftime show.
Oh, really?
Yes. What? And then all of a sudden, Thurman Thomas, and it was important. It was an important series. He's not in the game because he doesn't have his fucking helmet. And they pointed to Harry Connick Jr. and his people that they moved that fucking thing.
I knew it was the reason why I hated Harry Connick Jr.
They finally found it.
Harry's the
what he needed as a prop to put on his piano.
Supposedly, one of his people, they were clearing the area, and it's a Super Bowl with a helmet, and they're like, "Oh, let's move this helmet because we're getting ready for that halftime show."
Get that helmet out of here.
And it's Thurman Thomas.
The Saturday.
How many plays did he miss? Like 3 or something? But
it was just one play. He ran out on the field.
Was it only one?
He ran out on the field without it. And it was.
He probably would have fucking said, "Fuck it, I will play without a helmet." That's how important Thurman Thomas was to that team.
Why didn't he just wear somebody else's helmet for a couple plays?
I don't fucking know.
Because he plays for the Bills.
Bill says it was only one. They make it sound in this 30 for 30 like they were all.
No, I don't know. As far as I remembered it as just being one play.
Okay, but that was kind of important for that Super Bowl.
Yeah, when your Emmitt Smith can't find his helmet, I'd say that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But Bill Belichick is the story, dude. Bill Belichick shut down John Elway and the Broncos in '86, the Fun Bunch or whatever the hell he called them, the Three Amigos.
Yeah.
Right.
He shut down the Run and Gun in 1990. He shut down the Greatest Show on Turf in 2001 when we played the Rams.
Oh,
I
right.
remember I went to that game and they were going, all the Rams fans going, it's just a scrimmage. Why'd you even show up? And blah, 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 blah. And
what's Big Boy on Houston's name on defense who they shut down last night?
J.J. Watts. He was hurt though.
He was hurt.
He had his hand all wrapped up and stuff. Thank God he was hurt. That guy's
was a
monster.
non-factor.
He's
last night.
Dude, speaking of that, you guys watch the UFC?
I saw the highlights.
Wait, what happened?
You don't know what happened?
One highlight.
I was sleeping.
Well, there were other fights, though. I'm just saying.
It would take me longer to tell you what happened than the fight actually happened. Dude, this dude.
McGregor
This guy who had not I don't know shit about fucking MMA. All I know is this Brazilian dude
Aldo,
who could have starred in every action movie in the '80s and not been bullshit. Like this guy was the man. He has not lost in 10 years.
Right.
Here it is, right here. Here is it.
This is the whole fight, there, Sherrod.
What? It's quick?
This is the whole fight.
No.
This is the whole fight.
Okay, this is crazy.
And Aldo was favored.
Green trunks from
McGregor.
The notorious Conor McGregor.
Here comes the whole fight.
Jose Aldo Jr.
Oh,
and bam.
Good night. It's the whole fight. 13 seconds.
Oh, shit.
13-second knockout. McGregor's the new champion.
Oh, shit.
A lot of people didn't give him a chance to win this fucking thing.
Oh.
Knocked him out of 13 with that left jab. That was a jab officially, right?
Yeah.
I'd call that a hook. Jab.
Left hook.
Was that a hook?
Yeah.
A hook? Left hook?
That was awesome.
It was pretty.
I feel bad for that dude.
115.
Aldo.
That guy he had like tears in his eyes going like, that wasn't even a fight and blah, blah, blah. We got to do it again. And
he got to move out of Brazil.
I mean, it just.
Oh, he dropped him like a bag of dirt.
He just, dude, you know what? Look at how quickly he's got his arm up to do the with a hammer fist. Watch when he, like, right where you pause that.
Ooh.
No, right, bam. Just.
But that first one on the chin caught him.
That hammer
dude, that
fist
UFC
does not look
shit,
fun.
Dude, that UFC shit where you get knocked out and then you still take 4 before the guy can jump in. It's always like, It's just like.
That's
the knockout punch is always great, but when the guy's laying there and he's like you're beating a dead fish, it's just like, for the love of God.
It goes from get him to, oh God, somebody stop him.
It's like it's like taking a mini bat to a bluefish.
The first time I ever saw that, that's what it is. The first time I ever saw that was like one of the original MMA fights. And the guys were still fighting in gis. And I just remember this black dude fought this white dude. And somehow the white dude ended up in like the Jesus position. Like he had like just sitting there with his arms like that. And the black dude was like the fucking cross. And then the guy's head was wide open. And he just started elbowing him in the head. And it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. And it just kept going. Mm-hmm. And the guy was out by the third one. So the bar, when he first started hitting him, the bar was in. This is when they went, dude, it was fucking like, and dude, you'd never seen anybody like get ragdolled, like that, dude. If you guys can somehow find the clip, the guy's literally, he was bringing his knees, the black dude was bringing his knees up to his chest to make the white dude's head closer, and he'd slam him with the elbow, and then he'd straighten his legs out. So it was just, he was just going like
that, like his whole body going out.
It was like doggy style, but it was elbow to head. It was fucking.
They cleaned it up.
Brutal.
The early days of MMA or /UFC, Bill's got to go, was brutal. They've cleaned it up a lot.
The referees are paying more attention now.
They get in there a lot quicker now. There was a time, I don't know the exact rule, but there was no breaking. They
got all younger referees now. Do you see the referees in UFC now? You see younger dudes.
Dana White realized we got to clean this up a little fucking bit. When it's obvious the fight's over, that's it. Let's get in there. Yeah, exactly.
That was a great. Aldo.
See, there's even a YouTube video. It's called "Brutal Beginnings of the UFC." It was definitely a lot different, man. Look at that fucking baseball on the side of the guy's head,
dude. You remember?
Oh my God!
The classic one was that when the boxer came in, somebody came in with one boxing glove on. I remember that. Because he was like a boxer, so he's like, all right, I'm going to load up with the right hand.
Yeah.
But considering this guy can like grab onto me, I forget what it was, but I just remember the guy got taken to the ground. Maybe he had on 2 boxing gloves, but like now you're just laying on the ground.
You're right. This guy has one boxing glove on.
Yeah.
It's called Brutal Beginnings of the UFC. I would imagine this is just rough to watch.
Yeah, once he gets on the ground, now he has on one mitten. He's just like...
It's an oven mitt.
So here you go now. Like, look, he just passed his guard. Now you know what he's doing. But I remember me and Patrice, we used to watch this stuff going like, what did he... Because we'd see, like, somebody would get on top of Hoist Gracie, and you're thinking, oh, my God, he's going to get killed. And you see the guy being like, all right, just tapping out. We had no idea what they were doing because, like, all that jiu-jitsu and submission holds was not mainstream knowledge.
Right.
Like, nobody knew.
Right. You didn't realize the guy was about to break his leg or his arm, and you couldn't see it. Just because of, how they were...
Yeah, he just tapped out. Wow. You had no idea. But for years, like, all the martial artists, they used to just argue, like, my style's better than yours.
Your style, right.
I love how I act like I was in on those conversations. I just remember kids in high school.
remember those, though.
But kids in high school be like, oh, I take Taekwondo. I take Aikido. Oh, my style is this. My style is that. This was actually... all of the styles against each other. Taekwondo guy versus a boxer and all that.
That was great.
And then it became, everybody's like, all right, we need a little stand-up, we need a little bit of that. But the original ones of those is like, dude, that's like fucking Thunderdome, man. Those things,
I gotta watch this.
Absolutely.
Oh!
Yeah, we'll tweet out this video. It's called Brutal Beginnings of the UFC.
It's like bar brawls.
Fox Sports.
Oh, yeah, you could just kick somebody in the head if they were on the ground. I think, like, eye gouging. And, dude, it was one of a guy just punched the dude in the balls.
Oh, he just stopped the dude. Ah, this is great.
I think the worst move in UFC, I know Bill's got to go.
Yeah, I got to go,
is the foot stomp. When they stomp right on the fucking bare feet.
Dude, I hate the ground and pound when they just sit. I love they're just taking these forearm shivers to the face. Yeah. And the guy taking them is looking over at the clock going, all right, 30 more seconds of this. And then I can regroup.
Yeah.
No, they're like the toughest people ever. I got to go, though, guys.
All right, listen. Bill Burr, man. For real. Thanks, buddy.
I love you, Dum-Dum.
Love you, too, man. Thanks for having me, man. F is for Family, December 18th.
Yes, Bill. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got to check that out.
We're going to take a quick break. F is for Family. It starts Friday on Netflix. We will be back. I think Gilbert Gottfried's coming in today, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Nice. And then a little later, Bruce Dern from Hateful Eight.
Oh, that's crazy.
The great Bill Burr.
Bruce Dern.
Bell up.